Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath, and this is Fresh Flavors. Now, you know we've got two long-form video formats here at Cereal at Midnight. We've got the Fresh Flavors, which is our, hey, look, this just came out video. These are the Fresh Flavors. They're flavors, and they're fresh. Imagine that. And we've got Review Palooza, which is the long-form review video. So we're not really going to be reviewing a lot of this stuff. I'm going to throw in a few. I'm going to sneak a few by you. But what you see here will also show up in future Review Paloozas. Like my job for this is to show you about this, show you these titles, so you can make a smart, informed buying decision. So, without further ado, we got a lot of ground to cover. We've got almost 3 dozen titles here. Smoky and the Bandit, 4K. I love this movie. I've bought this movie 4 times, I think. Here's the thing. Let's do this. Let's make this a totally short 4K review because we got a lot of ground to cover. Dave in the Cave, take it away.
Now, Cereal at Midnight presents a totally short 4K review with Heath.
Thanks, Dave. Smoky and the Bandit on 4K looks fantastic. If you're wondering if it's worth the upgrade, it totally is. 4K is like 4 times the quality of a Blu-ray, and I put both in. I compared the 4K to the Blu-ray, didn't take any screenshots. We've all seen Smoky and the Bandit. I hope you have. It's substantially better. Textures, colors, details, it looks much, much better. But, and I'm sad to say there's a but. Oh, there's a big but here. So recently, I'm going to say like 2016, maybe, it was a few years back, maybe even newer than that. There was a reissue of this on Blu-ray, and it started as a Walmart exclusive, I think, and then they opened it up to everybody, but it had a documentary on it called The Bandit. And it was like a feature-length, 90-minute documentary about the relationship between Burt Reynolds and Hal Needham. And it's incredible. And it's not here. They've put in the old Blu-ray that goes back 10 years or so. So they haven't even put in the most recent Blu-ray. So if you have that Blu-ray that I'm talking about, you can just switch it out for the Blu-ray that's here. That documentary is also not on the 4K. The 4K special features are pretty much identical to the Blu-ray special features. So that's cool. But no Bandit documentary. So this is not the be-all end-all Smoky and the Bandit physical media edition. And it could have been. And let's face it, it should have been, right? So I'm excited to have this. Ultimately, the movie is what matters. I do have that previous disc, so I'm covered, but it's unfortunate, right? Let's talk about another 4K. We're going to go a little more in-depth on this one. In-depth is a good term to describe the final countdown. I like the way that lenticular cover is playing on, oh, there we go. I'll Foley in some sound effects here. And then I'll be Kirk Douglas. I am Spartacus. And I'll be Martin Sheen. I have 2 boys that are going to be actors. Okay, look. Blue Underground is leading the market when it comes to restoring catalogs in 4K. Look, the stuff with Fulci, the New York Ripper, The House by the Cemetery. We've got Maniac. We've got, that's not Fulci. That's Bill, the head of Blue Underground. I think this is the 6th 4K restoration that they've given us, and they are nailing it. And as soon as one comes out, they've announced 2 more. So how does the final countdown look on 4K? It looks absolutely magnificent. You're probably seeing screenshots right now. Quick word on these screenshots. Don't go too much by them. Don't be like, well, I don't see, whatever. I shoot these with my phone. I have no way to scan and screen capture a 4K image from a disc. So I just shoot them with my phone. These are just to kind of illustrate the movie, the tone of the movie, the colors. But I gotta say, the movie looks fantastic. One of the things I love about Blue Underground's 4K restorations is that they don't scrub all the grain and stuff out. They leave them, they clean them up, but they leave them mostly as is, and they end up looking absolutely magnifique. And this is no exception. This is a wonderful package too, because it's got the movie on 4K, it's got the movie on Blu-ray, and it's got the CD soundtrack as well. Special features include an audio commentary with the director of photography, because it's a beautifully shot movie. Victor Kemper is the cinematographer. He's a big deal. I want to say Dog Day Afternoon. I want to say, what's the other Pacino? Oh, Injustice for All. I'm out of order. You're out of order. This whole trial is out of order. Back before Pacino had decided to just, disappear into into scenery chewing land. Back when he never asked me about my business, Kay. 10 years later. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! All right, sidetrack. This also has Lloyd Kaufman Goes Hollywood, because Lloyd Kaufman was an associate producer of this movie. Lloyd Kaufman's the Trauma. We're talking about the head of Trauma. Also involved with Rocky as well. Interesting story. Starring the Jolly Rogers, the F-14 fighter squadron, because this movie, I didn't even tell you what the movie is. The final countdown is about a battleship, it's an aircraft carrier that goes back in time to like the day before Pearl Harbor. Can they make a difference? That's the premise of the movie. It's powerful as far as just like the visuals. Kirk Douglas is in it. Martin Sheen is in it. And it's a very impressive presentation. And now we have a 4K. I dare say the movie's never going... There's no 8K coming for the final countdown. But this is... I mean, God bless you, Blue Underground. And stay tuned to Serial at Midnight, because we're not done talking about Blue Underground's 4K presentation. Another high-profile title that I'm so excited to be talking to you guys about. The Black Cauldron. Long desired for on the Blu-ray formats has finally hit Blu-ray, and it's part of the Disney Movie Club. I know people get triggered by the Disney Movie Club and Disney making these things exclusive. I've been a member of the Disney Movie Club for like 10 years or so, and I love it. It was really looking lean there for a while. We went like 18 months between exclusive releases. But, if you do care about the deeper cuts in the Disney catalog, you really might want to consider it. And I don't think it's outside of the US too. So I realize that a lot of, like, that's not even an option for a lot of people. And that's unfortunate. I understand. But if you can, there's, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a video about Disney Movie Club exclusives. And if somebody steals that and you see somebody else doing a Disney Movie Club, well, that's not going to be this guy's coverage. And you demand the best from Serial at Midnight. The best! There's like a jingle in there. The best Serial at Midnight coverage. You demanded the best. We need to animate that or like shoot that. Anyway, The Black Cauldron. It's Blu-ray, man. We finally got a Blu-ray for The Black Cauldron. It looks good. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus, right? But you can own it. And then when your subscription, when you're like, I'm tired of Disney Plus, I want to, boop, I canceled Disney Plus. You still have the movie on your shelf. So when it comes to things that I love, and especially Disney, I want to own it. You guys can't see it, but there's a shelf of Disney exclusives up there. I mean, a Goofy movie one, an extremely Goofy movie, all the Herbie movies, the Apple Dumpling Gang. Like, I love Disney history, and that's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Holy crap. The Black Hole. All these Disney Movie Club exclusives on Blu-ray. Guess what? This also has bonus features. Can you believe it? They put bonus features on a DMC exclusive. Deleted scene, short Trick or Treat, starring Donald Duck and his 3 nephews. It's wonderful. This is the movie that Tim Burton, one of the Disney movies that Tim Burton worked on as a conceptual designer when he was working for Disney. If you didn't know that, Tim Burton worked for Disney in the 80s. Let's talk about some Arrow releases. We got Switchblade Sisters from Jack Hill. Jack Hill, of course, Coffee, Spider Baby, Foxy Brown, did a lot of stuff with Pam Grier, women in prison movies. Jack Hill is a exploitation film king, top of the mountain. And Switchblade Sisters has been, kind of conspicuously absent for a while. So Arrow has rectified that, and we've got a beautiful presentation. And I haven't watched all these special features yet. This is something I've spent some time with. I watched the movie. It's fun for me. Oh, here, we can actually go in 2 different directions here. First of all, people ask me a lot, does Serial at Midnight have a Letterboxd? And up until recently, the answer was no, because clearly I want to talk about movies here. And to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of short format reviews. Like, our attention spans are already so small. Those 5 paragraphs were too long. I want to have conversations about movies. We do ourselves no favors by having short conversations about the art that we love. So up until now, I've said, no, my YouTube channel is my Letterboxd. I am now. I've created a Letterboxd account. It is Serial at Midnight, Midnite, because that's what fits. There's a character limitation. So Serial at Midnight. And I have a short review for Switchblade Sisters up there. But I got to tell you guys, it's a fun movie. It's interesting because it's like it's high school girls. There's Switchblade fights. It's a gang movie with high school people, which is strange. And there's like a machine gun battle in it. It was like, you're in high school. But of course, this is exploitation. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's just meant to be enjoyed. It's got, you guys know the actor, Don Stark, I think is his name. He's the actor that played Bob Pinciotti in that 70s show. Hey there, hi there, ho there. He's like a young gang member in this movie, and it's just really interesting to see, you know, because I mean, he's in a lot of good movies, but to see this early, 1975, I think he's like 21. Anyway, solid presentation from Arrow Video. It's got, let me show you, it's got a commentary by Sam Dane and Kat Ellinger. We Are the Jezebels, an archive documentary with Jack Hill. I won't read all the names. Gangland, the locations of Switchblade Sisters. It's got Jack Hill and Joanne Nail at the Grindhouse Film Festival in 2007, or the features from 2007. Interview with Jack Hill and Robbie Lee, the cast members. Lots and lots of stuff. How about we got a booklet? It's an incredible shot. Which artwork do you guys like better? Do you like the? We'll go to the optometrist. Better here, better here, better here, better here. I always like the original, but I know not everybody does. And of course, Arrow always includes a postcard inside of their box art, inside the case with like coming soon. So coming soon, Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. And we move on to another Arrow presentation, Giants and Toys. I had not seen this movie. I was interested in this movie. It's a 1958 Japanese film directed by, I want to make sure I get this right, because I'm not always great with these, Masamura Yasuzo. I'm doing my best. It is a powerful movie. Loved it. It is a satire of consumer culture and like marketing. It's like, okay, so I'm gonna all my Criterion people out there, all the Criterion bros out there, lend me your hand, reach out to the screen. This movie is a mix of A Face in the Crowd, the Andy Griffith, where Andy Griffith is just a nightmare. A Face in the Crowd, Sweet Smell of Success, and then you put like an overlay of Japanese pop. And that's what the movie is. And it's about consumer culture, and it's three rival candy companies. They make caramels, and they're like, we've got to win the caramel war, which you see, it's a satire, right? They take it so seriously. These guys, these executives, it's like Mad Men. These executives are so beat up, and they're so like, they've got ulcers. One guy like coughs blood onto his paper, like his official business paper. There's no subtlety doesn't live here. But it's wonderful. And the star of the movie is this gal right here. I'm gonna try it again, you guys. Hitomi Nozo. Hope I'm doing it right. I'm sorry. But she starts the movie like they're looking for like a mascot, and this girl with these janky, rotted out teeth from the caramels. See, they find her, and they're like, "We're gonna make her a star." See, but it's Japanese, so they don't talk like that. By the way, you have subtitles, right? You have choices. Japanese uncompressed, Japanese mono, optional English subtitles, and they take this girl and they turn her into a mascot. And everybody's like, oh, she's so goofy. She's so unpretentious. She's so simple. And like, she becomes this megastar. And the transformation through the film, it ends on this huge like tiki number where she's in a club and she's just like fully decked out in like tiki thing, like headdress and stuff. It is amazing. It's fantastic. So I'm so glad that I've discovered this movie, Giants and Toys. I'm not even going to attempt the Japanese title for this. We also have reversible. There's just the nasty teeth that we're talking about. Here's our reversible That's the American title. When it was released stateside, they changed the name to The Build-Up. Giants and Toys actually, Giants and Toys actually fit. It makes sense for the plot. And the postcard, the teaser postcard for this is the Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, coming soon to 4K from Arrow Video. By the way, this has audio commentary. It's got a film, like a 10-minute introduction with Tony Raines. There's like a film expert. He knows this stuff. He pops up on multiple releases. In the Realm of the Publicist, a brand new visual essay by Asian cinema scholar Earl Jackson. That's really good too. Image gallery trailers. Clearly, I was really impressed. Let's talk about a couple of Warner Brothers releases. And as you know, when we talk about Warner Brothers releases, we have to say, I was provided a free copy of the title that I'm talking about here, but the opinions expressed are my own. We say it together. This is, and I got to be honest with you guys, I haven't seen either one of these shows. When you review stuff like this, when you have an audience and this microphone is bothering me, these pretzels are making me thirsty. When you review titles on, platforms like this and you have an audience, sometimes things just show up and you're like, oh, I don't know what this is. I didn't ask for this, but this is wonderful to discover. And on that note, I've been sent Infinity Train, Book 2. Now, I had to look this up because obviously I'm so preoccupied with stuff from the past, right? All my time is taken up by older releases, catalog titles. So I was like, what is Infinity Train? So I look it up. Cartoon Network show, this is the second season. There is a first season as well that I'm going to have to track down because this show sounds amazing. It's maybe like Snowpiercer for a younger audience. It's these kids who are on a train and each car is a different world, like a fully contained world that they had. Like each episode they go through that car. There's 4, I think the grand scheme of things is there's 4 seasons. They're 11 minutes. Each episode is 11 minutes. So this is 114 minutes. It's less than 2 hours for the whole season. But I got to go back and see the first one. So this is now out from Warner Brothers. Also, The Alienist, Angel of Darkness. Now, I've never seen any of The Alienist. I've wanted to. I believe it's based on a book series, or at least a book. It's airing in the U.S. on TNT. 'Cause I'm TNT. Oi. Don't come after me, YouTube. So both of these. I'm really interested in checking out both of these, but I feel like with The Alienist, I need to start at the beginning because it's got Dakota Fanning in it, Daniel Bruhl, and the premise it's setting is that this takes place after this has happened. I'm like, well, I should probably see that happen first. Luke Evans is in this, but both of these are DVDs. I do not think that there are Blu-rays on the books. We've talked in some great detail here at Serial at Midnight about what's going on at Warner Brothers. I think we're lucky we're getting discs at all, to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to look that gift horse in the mouth. So let's switch gears to some independent stuff. For the sake of Vicious, this comes from Epic Dread. The Dread is a label of Epic. Is it Epic Pictures? The independent. They do a lot of independent horror stuff. I believe they were the people. I believe Epic was behind Turbo Kid. Were they not? Turbo Kid is like the best thing since sliced bread. But this is a hard-hitting, no-holds-barred. Really, the way they market this is it's a horror movie. It's very old school. I'm going to read it back to you. An overworked nurse returns home to find a maniac hiding out with a bruised and beaten hostage. When an unexpected wave of violent intruders descend upon her home, it becomes a fight for survival. And they have really pushed this as being extreme, intense, over the top, and it's gory. They're marking like it's an assault on your senses, right? So I gotta say to you guys, when this showed up for a review, it's the first time this has ever happened. It came with ingredients for a Bloody Mary, and it had like a Bloody Mary recipe. If you follow us on Instagram, our Twitter, our social media accounts, I shared it there. But it's the first time that a company has sent me booze in the mail. This is like a little bottle of vodka, I think it was. So it's just really interesting. So the Forsake of Vicious Bloody Mary mix. So this is available right now You can get the disc from Epic Dread. By the way, this is a pressed disc in case you're curious. I know some of you guys wonder. You don't wander, you wander around. You wonder. Some of you wander as well, like Kane from Kung Fu, having adventures. But this is also available digitally. We do not discriminate against digital here. If that's how you want to buy something, download it, put that baby on a hard drive. You got yourself a stew. All right. Let's talk about, okay, I want to talk about Brimstone. Brimstone Incorporated. So let me do this. This is going to be a few minutes. So Brimstone is directed by actor, producer, writer James L. Edwards. Now, if you know a lot of J.R. Bookwalter's projects, he's in a lot of that stuff. A lot of, the 80s, The Dead Next Door, Ozone, and he is now a director. He's directed 2 films. There was a virtual launch party for this title, and I was the host of this launch party. It was online. I hope you guys made it. I made a video here to invite you. It was free. Everybody could come. And I got to talk to James for an hour, and it was wonderful. And he asked me, after it was over, he said, would you review my movies on your channel? And so I said, the next long form video that I do, yes. So here we are. This is what it is. Because I want you to know, this is brand new. This is now available. You can buy this at makeflix.com. You can buy this, it's streaming, or, it's digital. You can buy it digitally through all of the, the digital platforms that you use. But it's an anthology horror film from James L. Edwards. And it's interesting because it is his second directorial effort, and it comes after Her Name Was Krista. I love Her Name Was Krista, but here's the thing. Her Name Was Krista just about killed him. He gained 40 pounds. It's his raging bull. I watch so many independent horror movies. I have never seen someone go to such physical lengths. He shaved the top of his head to make it look like he was balding. He gained 40 pounds. It is such an impressive physical transformation, and the movie itself is like a romantic story until it's not. It's a romantic story all the way until the end. But it takes such a dark turn. But I love it. And the 90 minutes that lead up to that turn make the turn everything. Without that, the turn doesn't have the power. So I love Her Name Was Krista. And her, Brimstone Incorporated is like, listening to the commentary, he's talking about how, there were breaks that were required. So they were like, well, what do we do? We don't want to lose our crew. We have, responsibility to these people. So they go make Brimstone Incorporated. And you can see how it's a learning process. And the commentary for this movie, which is fun. I mean, it's really fun. The commentary for Brimstone Incorporated is so open and transparent, and he's talking about, he was like, I didn't think I was a good director. I never really wanted to do this particular thing that I did in this movie. I don't want to direct anything that I'm not in. I direct as a product of getting myself on screen. But it's such a good tool. And I talked about this with him in the Heath, future Heath editing this. Link to that video in the description of this video. I talked to him about the value of that commentary and how there's so many independent horror movies, right? And let's face it, like, a lot of them are just not very good. They're fine for some time waste, or like they waste time or whatever, but are they memorable? And if you're one of these younger directors who wants to do this, you need to know the ins and outs and the ups and downs, and he's totally transparent here. And I think they're fun, and I have a bigger appreciation for Brimstone Incorporated because of my affection for Her Name Was Krista, because it reteams James and his co-star and a lot of the people. It's this circle of people that continues to work on these things together. So both of these are available, and I mean, go check out the launch party that I did. But that's my review. James, if you're seeing this, it's so fun to be talking about these, and I wish you the best of luck on everything that you do, and it was a real pleasure. So let's move into Mill Creek Entertainment. We've got this new war collection, Scars of War. It's a 4-movie collection of Vietnam movies. We've got Casualties of War, Michael J. Fox, Sean Penn. It's a great movie. Birdie. Who's in Birdie? I don't think I've seen it. Matthew Modine, Nicolas Cage. We've got Alamo Bay with Ed Harris, Amy Madigan, and Summer Tree, another one that I've never seen before. Michael Douglas, Jack Warden. These look very cool. This is 4 movies on 2 Blu-rays. There's no codes for these or anything, but it's a great bargain for 4 war movies, right? We've also got the Hellfighters, the John Wayne. It's not it's just Hellfighters. The John Wayne movie. Now, I've gotten some questions about this. What we're seeing, I think, people have been like, should I rebuy it? Is there anything different? Is it a new transfer? I think what we're seeing, and this comes from Heath. So if you report on this, say Heath says, don't say Universal says or Mill Creek says, say Heath says, because I'm interpreting, I'm guessing, I'm concluding. We're seeing the market change, right? And companies are licensing more things, studios are licensing more things out. There is a previous version of this, but I think that future pressings, I think it's been delegated to Mill Creek Entertainment. So that's why we have this. If you already own the movie, it's up to you if you want to buy it again. But I think this is just to keep it in circulation. And I think that's a good thing. And again, I think we're going to see more and more of this as the market continues to evolve and change. MacGruber. I'm so excited that we have this new pressing of MacGruber. This is the Will Forte Saturday Night Live characters. It's got Kristen Wiig in it. It's got Ryan Phillippe and Val Kilmer. I love this Saturday Night Live sketch. It's a parody of MacGyver, but Will Forte is hilarious, and the places that he goes with his comedy. It's so, you gotta look up stories about his audition for SNL. It's amazing. So we now have this movie on Blu-ray. This has I believe this has I want to say it's got a couple of different cuts on here, but I don't see anything on the packaging talking about different cuts. So I guess do your own independent research on MacGruber. But this is now available, or it's available for pre-order from Mill Creek Entertainment. And last from Mill Creek, I've got Ultraman Leo. This is the Steelbook. I do not have the standard packaging to complete that mural. I'm so excited about completing the mural, but I don't have it on hand yet. I'm hoping it's coming. I suspect it is, but this is the last of the Showa era Ultraman series. So here's our Steelbook. I'll just do this really quick. We can admire, we can ooh and ah. Oh no. The disc literally rolled across the floor. Okay. Here's our Steelbook. It's the inside. Let me pull these out so you can. There's our interior art of the Steelbook. All right, get back on there. We have a code for Movie Spree. Here's our booklet. I don't know that we need to go page by page. They always give you the episodes, the synopsis, and character guide, and the essential tech. I just think that's really cool. And Keith Aiken does a lot of work on these. And Keith Aiken is from Sci-Fi Japan. Keith Aiken is a class act. And he does a great job. So that's Ultraman Leo. And if the standard edition packaging does show up, we'll cover that too. All right. Kino Lorber. We're going to do some Kino. And then we're going to do some music, and then we out, okay? So Kino Lorber, I'm so excited about this. Kino Lorber has decided to release Mae West movies. But they didn't do like if you look over my shoulder, you can't, there's a glare. I've got new lights, by the way. It's hopefully it looks good, but like some real fancy lights. But there's a glare there. So there's there's like the Carol Lombard Collection 1, and you get 3 movies. The Classic Westerns 1. So they announced Mae West movies 9 Mae West titles, and they're not in a box set. They just drop 9 Mae West movies. So let's go through these really quick. She Done Him Wrong, with 2 audio commentaries, one by David Del Valle, one by Kat Ellinger. Introduction by TCM host Robert Osborne. I love that we're getting these extras with Robert Osborne. A bonus cartoon, She Done Him Right. They've licensed the cartoon. Belle of the 90s, audio commentary by Sam Dahan. Go West, Young Man, audio commentary by Lee Gambin. Night After Night. Look, it's got George Raft in it. Scarface. He's in Scarface. This has a audio commentary by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nelson. I'm No Angel. I'm not doing these in any sort of chronological order, but I'm No Angel, audio commentary by Sam Dahan. My Little Chickadee with W.C. Fields. This has an audio commentary by Alexander Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nelson. Every Day's a Holiday. Audio commentary by Kat Ellinger. Go Into Town. Audio commentary by Kat Ellinger. And Klondike Annie. Audio commentary by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nelson. You guys, this is really impressive. And I'm so happy to be reviewing these. I've got a Mae West DVD collection. And I love it. But I'm so excited to see. I mean, those are movies. I mean, we're talking about like 1930s. I think these are all going to be the 30s. Mae West was a critical figure in 30s comedy. She'd come from like vaudeville stage stuff. If you don't know who Mae West is, she was a blonde bombshell, but she was tough as nails, and she was a broad, right? You know, she was like, hey. She was tough. She was okay. So the classic quote attribution is, "Why don't you come up and see me sometime?" That's not the actual quote, but that's what we say. And she's just fantastic. She'd been developing this character. She'd sing, but she'd been developing this character just like unflappable, tough broad, but funny. Audiences loved her. She'd been developing this for years on the stage, and then she became this huge movie star in this era. And it just makes me so happy that Kino Lorber is like, you know what? Let's do 9 of them, and we're going to release them all at the same time. So stay tuned for reviews for these. One of the things I love about these movies, especially older movies, they can tell a full story without sacrificing anything in like 73 minutes. 66 minutes, 73 minutes, 79 minutes, 73 minutes. I mean, there's a lot. Everything doesn't have to be 2.5 hours. Okay, so we've got more Kino Lorber. You guys, Body Slam. Oh my goodness. Dirk Benedict, Tanya Roberts. Rest in peace, Tanya Roberts. Roddy Piper, Captain Lou Albano. Rest in peace to those guys too. Are now sad. I made myself sad. Special features, audio commentary. Oh no, it's a brand new 2K master and an interview. It's not a commentary. It's an interview with actor Barry Gordon. Here's the back of the package. It's the last married couple in America with George Segal, who we just lost, and Natalie Wood, right there. Can't wait to check this out. These literally just arrived. They arrived about 20 minutes before I hit record. Audio commentary by film historian Lee Gambin. Can't wait. Cartouche. I'm super excited about this one. This is Jean-Paul Belmondo. Claudia Cardinal. Oh man, Claudia Cardinal. 4K restoration from the original camera negative. That's a big deal. This got a 4K restoration. Audio commentary by film critic and author Simon Abrams. Adventure with a capital C documentary with Alexander De Broca and journalist Thomas Morales. This is a 1962. It's an adventure movie. You know what, Heath? Save it for the review palooza. Benny Hill and Belinda Lee in Who Done It. It's a Who Done It. Oh, it's literally what it is. It does what it says on the tin. Benny Hill. This comes from 1956. So if you only know Benny Hill from his show in the late 60s through the 70s and the 80s, he was, actor, writer, well before that. So 4K restoration for the original camera negative, audio commentary by entertainment journalist and author Brian Reisman. The Waiters, a 1969 short film written and starring Benny Hill. That's very cool. So check that out for sure. You guys, Tank. I'm so excited about Tank. First off, my man James Garner, C. Thomas Howell, Shirley Jones is in this. You guys, here's what I want to say. Oh, I just set music by Lalo Schifrin. Mission Impossible. This is a 1984 movie. I mean, it's it's about a tank, but it has. Oh, now see, I'm gonna if I'm wrong, do your own independent research. You can say Heath said, I believe this is the first time that Tank has ever been in its original proper aspect ratio on home media. VHS, cropped, or pan and scan. DVD, full frame, pan and scan. Or maybe they unmatted it for DVD. Now we have the Blu-ray and it's finally in its original 1:8:5 aspect ratio, the original aspect ratio. What, like, that's wild, right? That's wild. 2021 and it's just getting its original aspect presentation. So, that alone is reason to buy this movie. Audio commentary by entertainment journalist and author Brian Reisman. Radio spots, theatrical trailer. I'm also incredibly excited about The Daydreamer. Now, I have never seen The Daydreamer. This is one of those deep cuts from Rankin and Bass. The people behind Mad Monster. Is it Mad Monster Party? It's like right here. I'm looking for it. All the people behind all those Christmas specials that so many of us grew up with, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Then they did Thundercats. I mean, Rankin Bass they are some of the authors of my childhood. But The Daydreamer, I've never seen this. I've never seen it. So Kino announces The Daydreamer, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? What? Arthur Ranker Jr. production, Joseph E. Levine. Listen. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Listen. International production presented by a galaxy of stars in alphabetical order. Tallulah Bankhead, Victor Borge, Patty Duke, Jack Guilford, Margaret Hamilton, Wicked Witch of the West, Sesu Hayakawa, Burl Ives, Boris Karloff, Haley Mills, Paul O'Keefe, Cyril Richard, Terry Thomas, Edwin. That was a terrible Edwin, but okay, look up Edwin. And Ray Bolger as the Pie Man. Robert Goulet sings the title song. Written and produced by Arthur Rankin Jr., directed by Jules Bass. You guys, I'm so excited. 1966. Audio commentary by Rankin Bass historian and author Rick Goldschmidt. He's like the authority. He writes the books about Rankin and Bass. With film historian Lee Gambin. Look at that one more time. And you think about that cast, and then you look at the cover art, the poster. I know so many of you guys, and I know a lot of you just got excited. Quantes. This is one of my favorite 50s Westerns. I have it on DVD. When I found out that there was going to be a Blu-ray, I was so excited. Fred McMurray often played a lot of nice guys. I mean, he was the dad on My Three Sons, right? He was the professor in Flubber, or the absent-minded professor, remade as Flubber. Yeah, kids, if you only know Flubber with Robin Williams, that's a remake of the absent-minded professor from the 60s, I think. But he was in noir films as well, and he was in Quantes, and he plays a real not nice guy in Quantes, and it's so fun, and he's so good in it. You just buy it. Don't just say Heath says I should buy this, and then you do. So, audio commentary by film historian Toby Rohn, 1957. It's 81 minutes. I'm telling you guys, movies don't have to be 2.5 hours. 81 minutes, you've done it. It's one of the things I love. You could watch a couple of these movies in the time that it takes to watch like a modern superhero movie, and I dare say you might be more rewarded for your experience if you do. Oh, that's a hot take from Heath. Heath said he didn't like superhero. Heath said he didn't like superhero movies. That's not what I said. I'm just saying that there's so much in these older movies. Let's do this. Another Western, Horizons West with Robert Ryan. Now this, Fred McMurray did a lot of noir. Robert Ryan is synonymous with film noir. He was like the Klaus Kinski. What Klaus Kinski is to spaghetti westerns and Euro movies, Robert Ryan is to film noir. Rock Hudson, Julia Adams. This is a 1952 Western, 81 minutes, you guys. And here's why I'm excited about this. Because if those of you who follow the channel, a lot of you guys follow the channel, a lot of you have been here for years, you know I love Bud Boettcher. And you know that I think that Bud Boetticher's Westerns with Randolph Scott are some of the Harry Joe Brown collaborations. Those are magnificent. There's a box set from the UK label, Indicator. And Mill Creek released some of those movies in the US on DVD, and I believe they're upcoming in the Randolph Scott box set that's coming from Mill Creek soon, which I'm also very excited about. But I love Bud Boettcher. Bud Boettcher. It's directed by Bud Boettcher. It is Robert Ryan, Julia Adams, Rock Hudson. It's also got Raymond Burr in it. Patreon supporter Corey, you just perked up a little bit. Your ears should specify what perked up. Your ears perked up a little bit. Raymond Burr. Oh, do I cut that out? No. It's great. It's great. Career opportunity. Man, Kino is just knocking home runs out of the park. Career opportunities. Have the movie on DVD. So excited that there's the opportunity for a Blu-ray. This is Frank Whaley and Jennifer Connelly. Dermot Mulroney's in this. Yeah. I think we all think of Jennifer Connelly, right? I can't imagine why. But this is the movie with the Target store, right? It's the movie. So written by John Hughes. Did he ever do anything? I'm not sure. John Hughes. That name rings a bell. The legendary screenwriter of National Lampoon. They're going to tell me. The National Lampoon's Vacation, Mr. Mom, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Home Alone. This movie was 1991. This movie had an impact on those of us who saw this or who were of the age at the time to see this when it was contemporary. This movie sticks with a lot of people. It's so good. Audio commentary by Chicago Critics Film Festival producer Eric Childress. Career opportunities. Last. We still got music to talk about. Don't go anywhere. This is one of those Kino distributing for Scorpion releasing. There's a distribution partnership there for Gary Busey in Eye of the Tiger. Here's our front art. Here's the back art. Nam was hell. Prison was murder. Now he's home fighting for his life. So I haven't seen this yet. This is a discovery for me, and I'm actually really excited about it. It's got Yaphet Kotto, but Yaphet Kotto just passed away. All these people are recently passed away. Jeez, man. All right, so it's got. I'm looking to see if it has a new HD master from the 2K scan from the Interpositive, and we'll talk about this in a review palooza. But we got it so good. Let's talk about music before we go. I love this UK label called Cherry Red Records. We talked about them before. They've put out the Tommy James and the Shondells compilation. It's not a compilation. The box set that I talked about recently. They're at it again, and we've got a new Procol Harum. This is an EP. It's not a full album, but this is the Procol Harum COVID album. It's got 3 tracks on it, and 2 of them are the same, but one of it, so it's Missing Persons Alive Forever, and the Missing Persons Alive Forever radio edit. The radio edit is like a more cut down, radio friendly version, and then War Is Not Healthy. The 3 tracks together, it's 20 minutes, and it's what Procol Harum has been up to during COVID. So we've got our lyrics here, And this is a nice, neat little tidy package. And the other thing that I want to tell you guys about, also from Cherry Red Records, is this new reissue or this collection of Harper's Bazaar. Now, you guys know I love my 60s music. Harper's Bazaar is sort of a sunshine pop, Baroque, sort of mid to late 60s sound, kind of contemporary with Mamas and the Papas, maybe Spanky and Our Gang. You know, we're getting into that like vocal. It's hard to describe. It's like they went back to ragtime music. You know, there's like a lot of piano and horns and trumpets, you know, that sort of thing. It's good time, feel good music. It's of its era, you know, it's kind of like predating and then through the psychedelic era. But I mean, it's so good. And this is the Warner Brothers albums. There are four albums here. Feeling Groovy. So you guys know like the Simon and Garfunkel, like Feeling Groovy. Harper's Bazaar got a hold of that, took it, made it a hit. Anything Goes, the second album, The Secret Life of Harper's Bazaar, and then Harper's Bazaar 4, or just self-titled. Cherry Red Records always gives you, for these collections, they give you a booklet with tons and tons of information and photos and like essays about, I mean, they teach you about the band. And it's good, it's excellent preservation. So this also has the singles, the relevant, pertinent singles that were not included on albums at the time. And it's even got some stuff. So before they were Harper's Bazaar, it's so interesting because I'm telling you guys what it sounds like. But before that, they were just a rock band. They were just an early 60s rock band. It's kind of like the Rolling Stones or the Who. And they went by the name the Tikis. So they rebrand themselves as Harper's Bazaar, lean into that psychedelic sound, and boom. I mean, the cover kind of, that tells it all. But I love this stuff. It's a fantastic compilation. I love what Cherry Red Records is doing with these older... Well, it's not just older, right? Because we got Procol Harum here too. But I love what they're doing with music. They're really keeping a lot of this stuff alive. They're out of the UK, but if you're in the US, you can still get a lot of it. And I recommend it highly. We're going to be talking about it more in the future. They just announced an Apple Records, but you know, the Beatles had Apple Corps, and they signed a whole bunch of artists. And some of those, James Taylor, the Badfinger is the one that, you know, if you want it, here it is, come and get it. They signed a whole bunch of bands, and some of that story has been told, but then there's a lot of stuff that kind of fell under the radar, maybe wasn't a super huge commercial hit. There's a 5 CD compilation coming out from Cherry Red Records celebrating the music of the Apple label, and we're going to be talking about it. So guys, that's going to do it for this Fresh Flavors. So much ground covered. What are you excited about? What have you seen? I can't wait until the Review Palooza when I get to talk to you guys about some of this stuff in greater detail. So stay tuned. We got exciting things coming. I mean, really, Serial at Midnight is entering a whole other level of what we're going to be talking about, who we're going to be talking to. Subscribe, tell your friends about it. I don't say this often, but tell your friends about Serial at Midnight. You want them to be involved in where we're going, and I want you to be involved. Guys, thanks so much. Take care, and until next time, I will catch you later.